In a world with too many podcasts, one podcast is too much for this world. Surprise Synopses. This is the podcast where we take a random trope and each pull a random genre out of a hat and we pitch to you, the mighty listener, a movie so great it defies expectations. And our cast, our cavalcade of heroes starts with Alex, the first of her name.
I'm just glad you said listener, like not the other one that isn't plural. Singular?
Listeners. Yeah, singular.
Yeah, you said it's singular, and I just think that's
Well, it's because I was addressing you, the listener, specifically.
Because there's only one.
Hi, Mom.
Billy, you're still a good girl.
Oh, Billy, bless.
Odds are she's like in the back of my car with the window open, and so I'm making her listen.
Such a loyal listener.
Yeah, I'm listening to myself on a podcast now, apparently.
And the scion of the times, Damien.
Hello, world. It's me again, Damien.
And me, the narrator, Harley.
It almost kind of hit a Batman tone.
Yeah, like if I push up the gravel and keep the growl and add just a dash of tragedy.
Yeah, we don't have to do that voice, do we?
No, you don't.
I'm podcast.
Yeah, I'm Batman.
Previously on Surprise Synopses. So, last week, our pitches were based around the trope of teenage pregnancy.
Yeah.
I struggled with my pitch, much like I struggled saying that. Damien won that episode with his pitch of Shattered, the story
Oh, yeah, the superhero.
of a
I'd already forgotten my
teenage
pitch.
superhero come mother.
I liked my war one, though. I thought it was cute.
Your
I
war
could
was
imagine
strong.
being, like,
Yeah.
grainy and, like, genuinely sad.
Yeah.
Like a cute movie, like, just really emphasizing how fucked up war is.
Yeah, I could see a Spielberg version of yours.
Yeah.
For sure.
What We Left Behind. Coming soon to a cinema near you.
Oscar bait.
Skinninema.
Oh, absolutely. Whoever's getting cast in those two lead roles, like, Oscars immediately.
Oh,
Signed,
yeah.
sealed,
Just,
delivered.
like, don't give it to bloody... Who's that guy that never gets an Oscar?
DiCaprio.
Leo.
Yeah,
I'd be
because...
too old for that.
Yeah, because he'll fuck it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he also
old
already
as.
got his.
We could put a Gosling
Oscar.
in the soldier role.
Is it Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling again?
No, that's too many times.
But they work so
We
well
need... I
together.
want to get, like, a genuine French chick. Like a genuine AF.
Oh.
I feel like
Sophia
Zac Efron
Batelli?
needs to be on yours, though.
Eva Green?
Wait, who does Zac Efron play in mine?
I don't know, but he's like...
Oh, yeah, we should be talking about Shattered because you won.
Yeah.
Not
Oh, so
What
I just
We
need
Left
need one cast, right? I just need like
Yeah,
the
who's...
hero.
Oh.
Like, so who's like bold, sassy, can DIY?
Emma Stone. Is it Emma Stone?
Is it Emma Stone or is it Jennifer Lawrence? Like,
it
they're
something
both pretty
Stone?
straightforward
it's,
casting.
It's teenage, so it has to be someone really young. Let's get that chick from Sabrina in. Don Draper's daughter.
Kenan Shipka?
Sure. It's the only age-appropriate actress I know. Full disclosure, she'd be perfect, but she is the only one that I know.
Yeah, I don't know any, so you're already up on me.
It's the only door I can go through.
That's fair. She's a good choice. Any of the people on Riverdale would be still young enough to pull it off if you wanted to go in that direction.
That's my
Get a
casting.
Lily
Yeah.
Reinhardt.
Just go to like the cast, like the set, and be like, "You, come here."
Just
Like,
get her, put her in an Elsa costume.
yeah,
Where,
spandex
you
it
know,
up.
kind of give her some fingerless gloves with some like kind of diamonds on the knuckles, and we're done. This is like shatter.
Mask or no mask?
Ooh.
I think like one of those little like Robin from Batman kind of like diamondy mask. So it's like it's everyone knows that it's her, but it's like for the sake of masking up.
Yeah.
And I think I did say that it's like a really obvious like hammy costumey type superhero
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah, like
made it
super
herself.
handmade.
She
Yeah.
hasn't gone to
It's like
college
just
yet.
one piece of fabric with eye holes awkwardly cut out.
I actually don't like when they really darken down the superhero costumes. It's like, come on, guys, they're wearing costumes. Just make them colorful. Like
Yeah.
it's already ridiculous.
Like Batman,
Just don't be shy.
that's fine. Everyone else, color up.
It's like if you're skinny dipping, don't cover up with your hands. Just go.
Just commit.
Just
you know,
flop.
like
Superheroes are inherently fantastical, so making them grim and grey is pretty boring. Unless you're Batman or Spider-Man Noir. Everyone else, nah, saturate that
yeah,
shit.
Batman maybe gets a pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not even a real superhero. He's like a He's just rich.
I'm the hero that everyone needs and deserves.
He's a superhero.
Yeah, but like he's not. He's a hero, but he's not super. He's not magical. Well,
I mean,
super.
he's pretty super.
He's like super.
He doesn't
rich.
have powers.
Yeah.
You're right, but he is probably the most superhero.
But he's
Superman is the most superhero.
No, Batman
He's
is interesting.
Superman.
Superman isn't.
Nah. Batman's kind of like, all right, we get it.
Do you think a human could do what Batman does? Do you think there's anyone out there that could be the world's greatest detective and also master of like hand-to-hand combat and also can run like a massive like $1 billion enterprise and come up with all the tech stuff? Like, do you think there's anyone out there you could point to in all the billions of people out there in the world that could handle that job?
Not that I
Yes.
know personally. Like,
Keanu Reeves.
oh, he probably does.
We know he's a master of hand-to-hand combat from his time on the John Wick films. He works hard. He was in The Matrix. That had a lot of tech in that movie. He probably knows about some techie stuff. He builds
Oh, that's a stretch.
Yeah. It's like,
he builds motorcycles in Italy now. He's good at mechanical stuff. So he could build all the mechanical gadgets that Batman has. And he's one of the most bankable stars of the last 30 years. So he's got the money.
Yeah, but Keanu Reeves is really blasé on crime.
yeah.
He doesn't mind. Crime,
It could be
no
like a
crime.
Batman.
His- yeah.
Like,
I happen to know that Keanu Reeves is like just not fast on crime.
All right. I mean, Bill Gates has done more than good than Batman
is he dead or
has.
bad? I mean, dead or alive?
Dead or bad. You can only be one or the other.
Well, you either die young or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, right?
I feel we've drifted.
Absolutely. So
Whoa.
Shattered
We're
coming soon.
casting Shattered.
Yeah.
Well, you only have one cast member, and it was the only person the categories you could name.
Can Zac Efron be one of the ones she smashes in the bed? So he's like,
Yeah, I
cameo?
guess so. He could be like the zany person with the not very good powers.
Oh, true.
Like he can
yeah.
command frogs.
That's hot.
So
No. Oh, but like
he could be like
the
amphibio.
drug, including like toads.
Yeah.
He could just. That's probably
And
how
that's
they got
part
so
of the-
fucked up.
yeah, that's part of the
because they
party.
were licking toads.
Yeah, so in that scene, there's also toads jumping around. And,
Yeah, that's fun. So yeah, now it's all coming together. Now you understand why
baby,
she's
you want
blacked
to
out.
take a hit of me, Toad Man?
Yeah, lick my forearm.
That's how it starts.
Oh, while we're here,
smush
since
it
there
all
were two
in.
guys in the bed, who's the other one?
Wingman.
All right.
Where are the genres? Tell me.
Tell me, where are they? Where are the tropes?
They're in my hands with the pirate hat.
Select a trope.
That's me? All right.
Yeah, this
here we
is
go.
apparently your job now.
Yes.
You're the
Select-
magician. I'm just the hat
Selector.
holder.
Oh, shit.
I'm terrible at my job.
You nearly dropped the
For
hat
those
on
playing
the
at home,
glass.
the hat fell and struck a glass of water and very nearly spilled.
Yeah, magician didn't spill.
Oh, this is...
Is this another one of mine?
Yeah, this is one of yours.
Yeah, you can tell by the handwriting.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like huge.
Okay.
What's the genre? Tell me.
No, this is the
trope.
The trope. The trope is house is haunted, but I don't believe in ghosts.
Oh, that was the last one I wrote. I like did a list. And that was like,
That's tremendous.
The house is haunted, but I don't believe in ghosts.
and then an exclamation point if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
exclamation point. So it's like it's very emphatic, and also like it kind of like narrows us into a first person. Like- so I feel like this is going to be a line that someone's going to have to say.
Oh, that was just the best way my brain could express
Yeah,
what I was
no,
trying to say.
yeah.
You know?
I like it.
All right. Hand me the genres.
Well, you
Hand
go
me the
first.
genres. Why is Damien handing me the genres? He's at the other end of the table.
No, I was just going to pull them
Alex.
further away.
Make yourself useful.
We really do need to have another hat for the genres.
Yeah, I feel like the hat, like we do it 3 times, but only 1 time that we fucked up completely.
Yeah, the genre should be in the hat, really.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
That's how you know you fucked up.
This is amateur hour.
Clearly.
And my genre is...
Is it the music one? Is it music and dance?
Yes.
He's nodding. Oh my god. Oh my god. Harley,
This is the
say
best
it,
one
say
ever.
It.
This can be better.
Say it.
Musical/dance.
I'm already seeing this film. I don't care. like that's how easy your pitch is. I'm already seeing it. Musical/dance. House is haunted, but I don't believe in ghosts. Take me away.
Okay. the screen is black. And there's just smash the titles up. The House. Fuck it, that's what we're calling it. We're committing early.
Mm-hmm. The House?
The House. And everyone's like, whoa. No, sorry, I shouldn't be putting audience reactions at this stage of the pitch. It's
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a bit fresh. Weird flex, but okay.
And so The House, and people are like, okay, stop that. And then we hear the faint notes of piano, like it's doing that, on the high end of piano, like it's, some musical scores for horror movies use that, like ding, ding, ding,
It's kind of tinkling.
ding. Yes.
Yep.
But then you have the left hand of the piano come down with the bass notes, and the drums come in, and it's like, a standard musical fare with strings and an orchestra and everything, and the titles pull down on a house, and there's a moving van in the driveway, and there's families moving in. And fuck it, it's a one-shot. I love me a one-shot. The camera's panning in through the house as everyone's moving in. The mum, the son, the daughter, the father, the dog. There's the dog. You have to have a dog.
If it dies, I'm going to be fuming.
Oh, no, I would not write a movie where a dog dies.
But then it would become a ghost dog.
Didn't you read, 24 grams or whatever? Dogs don't have souls.
There's so much to unpack there that I'm just going to use it as a segue to the moving van and go back to the film.
House is haunted, but I don't believe in dog souls.
And so we get to establish the characters of, the mum's hardworking, she's a career woman, but she's made time for her family, and she bought this house with her blood, sweat, and work dollars.
What a lovely lady.
And the husband's a stay-at-home dad, but he's cool with it. Not, secretly abhors it, cool with it, but, he's actually cool with it. He's I get to spend time with my family, and I get to prune my rose bushes, damn it. My prize-winning rose bushes. But then, after we establish all the characters, the dog gets a cameo in the song, bop-a-da-da-da, bark, bark, and then back to the
Oh, I
song.
forgot it was musical.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about?
But then the strings and the piano start doing some higher notes, moving higher, pulling us away from the family song, and it drifts up to the attic, and then we can just see from behind a ghost is looking out the, that really dramatic eye-looking window some attics have, and it's just looking out over the family moving in. They're all joyous, and then the score just cuts off. And so then it's just a normal day. The family's moved in. They've grown accustomed to the, house. And we get the getting ready for work and school montage. Again, it's a one-shot. That's this movie's thing, apparently. They're getting ready for school. The dad's making sandwiches. The mum's, putting stuff in her briefcase. But then, someone knocks over orange juice. The music stops. Who knocked over the orange juice? And the son's like, I didn't knock over the orange juice. And the daughter's like, I didn't knock over the orange juice. And the dad's like, well, someone knocked over the orange juice. I better sweep it up. The glass, that is.
Dad, you can't sweep up orange juice.
Yeah.
Oh, the glass,
Silly.
sweetie. It'll cut you.
Wrong OJ. Can't sweep it under the rug.
Ooh. Yes, those topical O.J. Simpson references. This podcast was recorded in the year 2018.
Nearly 2019.
Nearly 2019.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
Oh my god, we've had our first spit take. An actual spit take just occurred. Oh! And a snort. And Harley's choking. Is he down? There are some medical emergencies in progress.
Sorry, I didn't think that'd be such a kicker.
Is this the haunted house? Oh my god!
That's what. Well, this is the mental institution. I'm a very avid ghost believer to some extent. So
Yeah,
I was
right.
or more permeance of emotion, I would say, in land. And this was not happy. So I'm don't want to get murdered.
So the podcast are knocking over our orange juice while we're trying to record.
Yeah, well, we have had some water spills nearly. We did have a spit. But
Being a smart gentleman, I I spit taked directly towards my guitar amplifier and expensive guitar
You got some
pedals.
distance. For those playing at home, that went about 1.5 meters to 2 meters at the extent of spray.
That's up to 6 yards for America and one other country.
Yes, thank you.
For international listeners.
Poor Jesus, he was just trying to have a bloody celebration.
Good heavens. That was intermission. And now we come
This is all
back.
staying in. This is a goal. So, I wasn't expecting that, obviously. But then I did spit out all of the water. And so when you snorted, and then you called her out on that so the podcastees could understand it, that broke me. And I inhaled the water into my lungs. And almost winded myself.
Rip.
So shockingly, I don't sound hoarse because of all the Batmaning.
You're
Podcast
doing great,
ends
sweetie.
in tragedy.
It's like 11:30. Why are we like this? Like,
Because rewriting season 2 of Alex Gabbett's case note is really hard. And getting roasted for my shitty pitches is much easier. Speaking of, sponsored by Segway.
meow. Oh, I really want to segue. Sorry, go though.
The song kicks back in as the father cleans, mops up the orange juice, sweeps up the glass. And then the camera follows the mum out to the car. She's like, "Bye, everyone. Bye, Mum. We love you." Aww. And she goes to sit out in the car, and she's like turning the ignition, but the engine won't turn over. And so she's just like, "Oh, what is this?" And then we see a bit of motion behind the car. And she's like, she sees in the rearview mirror, cinematography. And she's like, "What was that?" So she turns around, and there's nothing there. But then we hear the faint notes from earlier, so we know it's a ghost.
Tinkle, tinkle, tinkle.
Yeah. And then the mum's like, whatever. So she just like fully pulls out the key and just like rams it back in and commits to turning the engine. Engine turns over. She pulls out, goes to work. And then we just watch the sunrise, sunset, and she pulls back in like it's a transition. And then as she's walking out of the car into her house, like the curtains are ruffling, and she's like, "Oh, that's weird. I thought they were at soccer practice. My active kids were at soccer practice. My husband, my beautiful husband, was taking them there. That's weird." So she goes in the house.
They've got a Borcacino.
Sorry?
They've got a dog. It's just a dog.
Oh, the dog's at soccer
Don't forget
practice.
the dog. Okay.
Because like,
Is there a B plot where the dog also plays soccer?
Yeah, it's like a soccer genius. Like
Or is the dog who just
Schnauzer.
watches on?
the dog just watches on sitting
Okay.
next to the husband. The husband's like licking an ice cream and suddenly looks side to side and then leans the cone to the dog, and the dog's like
Oh,
with the side of its
cute.
mouth.
It's adorable. I do that all the time with my dog though, but I don't double check.
All right, so we
I
cut
just go
back
for
from
it.
the soccer match back to the house. So we see what the husband and everyone else is actually doing. And she's like, so she calls her husband, like, "Are you at soccer practice?" And like the husband being cute puts the dog on the phone. Ruff, ruff. "Yes, honey. Yeah, we're at soccer practice. It's great. We're winning 2-1. She's like, "Well, that's a high score for soccer." Anyway, that's great.
Why
to
are
know.
they scoring in practice? Is it a game or is it
Because they
practice?
have a game at the end of practice. Have you never Auskicked?
I play many a sport.
True. So she hangs up. It's like, well, must be nothing. But she walks inside, and then like things have gotten weird inside. Okay, like curtains are ruffling. Like she sees something out of the corner of her eye, and she's like, "What's that?" And then the music starts in low, and there's wind like as part of the song, and it's like there's a steady building rhythm, and she's like, "What's that? What's that? There's something out the corner of my eye. What's that? What's that? Is it some stranger in disguise? What's that? What's that?" And then we follow her into the house. Fuck it, it's a one shot again. It's a long take. We follow her into the house, and someone's drawn like blood red X's over her children's eyes in the family photographs.
Kinky.
And, like, as she gets into the kitchen, there's just another glass of orange juice, and it just sweeps off the table onto the floor. And she's like, No, I don't believe in ghosts. There's no ghosts." So she goes to the kitchen window, locked tight, like sealed. double glazed. It's done. But she's like, this is very strange. So anyway, she just starts cleaning up. But then we see the ghost watching her from, like, around the corner. And eventually the ghost just runs at her and jumps into her and starts possessing the mother. And then turns to the camera and smiles. And then the family pulls in. The end.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
that's it. I have some notes.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You have some notes?
It appears your movie ended in the middle.
It's an interestingly dark ending for a musical. Like, I like that you didn't give in to the temptation to keep the tone really light.
Yeah.
Like, it's a sinister musical.
Yeah, they also sing an opera. Because that's technically a musical.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel you when you say it has third act problems and that it has no third act. But I was like, oh, nah, keep it short and sweet. So yeah, it's called But the House is Haunted, but I Don't Believe in Ghosts. The musical.
The musical. A musical about making a musical, but the house is haunted and they don't believe in ghosts.
So the audience like goes into it and being like, yeah, the ghosts are definitely real and we see them, and it's a journey of just like watching like, oh, these people that moved in, they're suckers because they don't
Yeah.
know what's going on yet, or is it like the audience themselves is gradually being revealed?
It's the audience is aware of it, which is why the audience gets to live. It's punishing the ignorance of the mum who doesn't believe in ghosts. Because if she believed in ghosts, she could have maybe done something about it.
Yeah, so like did the dad and kids believe and she like wasn't listening because she's at work all day and they're seeing all the weird shit?
Yes, that would have been a really good thing to say before I said the end. You're right.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Oh, thank you. You're so supportive when you're not roasting me.
that was a mixed roast to support.
Well, like you've got these little snapshots of like you can obviously see it really clearly. Like you're doing the cinematography. Like
Yeah, you like
It's like-
explain like a full scene, but you only then you skip the whole middle. Like
I'm basically pitching Michael Bay movies. I'm very sure what the visuals are, but I haven't fleshed out the rest of the story.
And then the camera spins around with lots of like street lights
Yeah.
for scale, and there's like explosions, and everyone in the center is just reacting in all directions to the action.
Yeah, it
Brings
turns
the
out my
action.
strength is writing, because when you write things ahead of time, you can rewrite them until they're good. Shockingly, doing it live slightly harder.
I'm really glad you pulled the musical and dance.
yeah,
That was
I
my-
was
It just goes everywhere.
so happy and yet so sad to see it. It's just, oh.
Okay, I think.
who's next?
Are you next?
Wait,
paper,
have you,
scissors,
have
rock?
you gone middle?
No, Alex hasn't gone in the middle.
I guess no paper scissors rock for you.
Yes. Just assume that I
Who
went
calls
rock
it
and
paper,
roll.
scissors, rock, and not rock, paper, scissors?
Not
You're telegraphing your
Neanderthals?
strategy. Wait, what?
What do you call it?
It's rock, paper, scissors.
Nah,
Rock goes first because it's the grand old dame
paper
of
scissors rock.
It's rock, paper, scissors.
Yum mess.
Because The Rock is the people's champion.
Oh boy.
And also, it's Neanderthal. So... I really shouldn't roast you going into your... I really shouldn't roast you going into your pitches, because you always knock it out of the park. So what random genre did you get, Alex?
Romance.
Oh.
The best around.
So...
Look at this. My left hand is smudged ink all over this. House is haunted, but I don't believe in ghosts. Romance. No com, just Rome.
All rom, no com, coming this summer.
When you think there's com, you're wrong. It's rom. Okay.
I should not drink on this podcast.
Yeah, just spit water everywhere.
How many
Stay
spit takes
the
can we get
Yeah.
on one recording?
Every time I make you do a spit take, you have to buy me a slab.
Alright, I'm just gonna pour out my drink on the floor, and slabs are expensive.
Okay, so obviously we're gonna have to do like newlyweds, young, cute couple, like gorgeous, like yeah, and like, like strong and skinny. I should.
Those were flexing motions.
Yeah, forgetting where.
Not just grunts.
I'm still not like, like sold that there isn't video cameras.
There
So,
are.
so like when this goes on YouTube, you'll see what I did, and that's fine. So
Just
yeah,
in case there are, just describe.
That was a kind of a cutie pie, hands under the chin
I misunderstood
motion.
what he said, and then like as I did it, I heard him. I'm like, oh, don't.
You can't use the 3 claps as a get out of jail free
Yeah,
card.
but doesn't actually
Watch
edit
me.
out the thing you've just said.
I still have to edit it. I can just leave it in.
Well, that's even funnier. Like, I don't know. All right, so, I want to name them Brad and Casey.
Uh-huh.
B and C,
Mm-hmm.
like their blood types. I assume.
It's one of the rarer blood types is C.
Wait, C positive or negative?
So I'm O negative, but I kept saying 0 negative for like ages, and it used to
means-
really bother my friends.
That means you've got no blood.
I actually give blood like up there, and that's how I found out I was 0 negative. Fun facts. Anyway, moving
She was
on.
pointing in a northeast direction.
How could you even know that?
How are directions known?
Actually, no, because I live northeast and I live that way. So you're correct. A little bit more east than north, but I'll take it.
Lucky guess, maybe?
Yeah. You just got a secret, like, little northeast west thing compass. like east? I thought you said west.
Coming soon to our merch store, the secret compass. A small portable
The north,
device
south-
will tell you what direction
The
you're
small north, south, east, west thingo.
Oh, boy. Probably shouldn't have done a third one. I think I've hit a fucking wall. But it's fine. Like,
No.
emotionally, not physically.
This is the story of Brad and Casey.
Oh, true.
I shouldn't clap. That's going to give
Do
false
the
readings.
friends thing.
It's
Like,
gonna- It's going to cut it all
I
out.
think
Yeah.
I've seen the Friends theme, but they don't stop clapping.
No.
It's a YouTube clip, and it's just when the clapping starts, it doesn't stop for the rest of the song. Anyway, the story of Brad and Casey. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That'll link in the
So they
in the
have
cliff notes.
blood types that aren't important. They move into this house. It's like a really cute little neighborhood. It's like, oh, no, scratch it. No. They moved into here, and it's like an old mental asylum, but they've like built apartments on it.
Right.
The land is like, you know, iffy. And Casey's like, no, like, I'm not really into that. I'm sort of like, I feel like, you know, when something really bad happens on land, like it's going to have bad juju or whatever, it's going to be like a little bit iffy. This is not based on a real story. I'm Casey.
Yeah, there we go.
Roll me as Casey. And Brad's like, nah, you dumbass. It's fine. Don't even worry. Like, we got such a steal on this cool house. It's so new and modern and it was so cheap. And she's like, probably because of all the crazy people who jumped on the train tracks back around over there. And he's like, don't worry about it. And so they like move in and like he works and like she works, but she's like seems to like get home earlier than him. So like they're like out during the day and like it's like a little bit Paranormal Activity had like the different cameras. So like while they're gone, like things happen and like she comes home and things are all a mess and she's like putting things away and being like, this is so creepy. And she keeps trying to say to him like, this is serious, like this is so weird, like what's going on? And he's like, no, it's not haunted, like that doesn't exist, it's not a thing. And she's like, oh, can we just like, I don't know, do something about it? And like, so she's like doing research about like what happened because she's like not from the area and she like realizes how fucked up the mental asylum was and they did like a lot of torture and like newfound medicine on the different things and there was like a lot of suicides and it had been running for like a long time and all this stuff and she's like, oh my god, like this is so creepy, but like at the same time it doesn't prove it's haunted. She's just like, oh my god, like this land, like so many bad stuff. So like keeps happening and things like start to build and build and build and she's like, this is fucked, like we have to leave, like it gets a bit scary, like there's like a lot of jump scares and things like that. And he's like, no, still I don't see anything, like I haven't noticed anything. And like nothing's happened where like there's evidence like that she can show him and she's like going mental. She's like, what the hell, like why do you never see any of this, why do you never hear it, like why does it never happen to you? And it's like messing with her. Let me just think where we're going with this. I feel like this is a good build up though.
Yeah, so there's tension
Yeah.
between B and C.
Yeah, exactly. They're
Nobody's just worried
newlyweds and
for
they're
their
not
relationship.
exactly. And she's like, I want to get out of this house, but like I don't, like, you know, and he's like not having a bar of it. And like they couldn't, you know, sell and move anyway. The newlyweds, they're like poorish. And so yeah, like, and she's like, oh, like I like know more about this, and that sort of like triggers it more that like more things happen. And then I feel like, are you with me on like he dies Or what do you think? I don't know. Where are we going?
Well, he doesn't believe her, right? So
Yeah.
maybe she like reaches out to like a local psychic
Yeah,
or
like
detective.
a bit more. Yeah, like
There's
like
a new character that.
yeah, like a bit of a psychic comes in with a smoky eye and
Oh,
headband and dreadlocks.
the smoky eye
yeah.
lady.
Lindsay Lohan strolls in and she's like goes through the house and she does like a sage thing and then she like not a Ouija board but does some sort of reading with cards and shit and she like says there's like a particular souls or something or she's like you're like an open you're like an open person and like they're drawn to you like you're bringing them to your house like they're on this land and they can like sense your like emotions
You're
or whatever and they
psychically
like
resonant.
they're like living off you sort of thing and like as long as you're here like they're going to continue to come to you and it's just going to get worse and worse and so she tries to like admit this to her husband and like and he like won't listen to her. He like kicks out Lindsay Lohan. She's like, "Get out, you crazy old coot!" And she's like, "Ah!" And she like falls down the stairs.
No, Lindsay.
like, and she like scuffles away, and she's like, "Casey, you need to leave. Get out of here. Like, it's gonna mess you up." And she like can't. And she's talking to him, and he's like really pissed off at her now. She's like, "You brought some crazy person into her house. Like, you probably Ouija board or something. You like cooked the house up." She's like, "No, I haven't." And so they sort of like she like now has reached this point where she like cannot talk to Brad about it. It's like it's
no.
like it's not
Yeah,
a
he's
speaking
just-
thing. Like
Oh,
every
no.
time she mentions it, he'll just like get up and leave or just crack it. So she's like, all right, I'm just not going to say anything. And like she starts to like not so much see stuff, but like feel things, and it starts to like build and build inside of her. And like you start seeing her do like real weird shit and like be like really tense and like not reacting to her name. Was that a car horn?
I don't know. There's just weird sounds. It's Melbourne. Just ignore it.
It's just
And
the
so yeah,
ghosts.
she starts like acting weird. She's like her eyes look different, and he started like being like, "What's up with you?" To the point where she's like possessed. She's like taken over by like some sort of soul, and she's like someone else. And either there's two ways I think this could go. One, she just is like has some sort of mental thing now. She's like she's gone absolutely crazy and she just has to be put into an asylum because she's just like absolutely gone like aggressive, like trying to gouge out her own eyes or like hurt everyone, has to be like in a padded cell room sort of thing. Or the second option is actually three. The second option is she like has like, to do like something to like finish this person's life off, like he had to like achieve something or she had to like achieve something to
Unfinished
move
business.
on. Yeah, so there's like that option, or the third one is she kills Brad.
Oh no, not Brad.
I've grown fond of Brad.
Although I
That's
don't-
not what I've been trying to do at all.
Although I don't like the way Brad speaks to her.
Yeah, he doesn't
Exactly.
treat her as well as A, he used to, and B, she deserves.
He kind of talks
Exactly.
down to her.
Yeah.
Not-
And like,
so maybe he's like
The
a little bit-
communication's broken
He's
there.
kind of like a B villain in this storyline. Like he's just
Yeah.
like I don't
she's
think
trying
we.
to communicate.
I don't
with
think we
him.
even want this relationship to
No.
go forward. I think maybe Brad needs to do the work here.
He needs
Like
to.
because she's responding to the ghost.
Brad really
So
needs
I
to
think
meet
we
him
need to
at
go-
her halfway.
Like we need a Brad arc.
Yeah, we need to go type B, and Brad sees that he's lost his wife, like she's not in there anymore, and like that brings him to believe, and so he's the one that instigates and helps the crossing
he gets
over.
in touch with his emotions, which
Yeah,
the ghost
he
records
calls
to.
Lindsay Lohan back, and she like does like a séance, and the thing like says like, oh, like I was tortured in this way and all this sort of stuff, and they like I don't know do something, they like release the soul or something, and like it was like because Brad finally was like, okay, fine, I'll help you, and like did some research or something himself, and was like, oh my god, like I can understand, like I feel like I should have believed her
By
when I had the
exhibiting
chance,
some
yeah,
emotional growth.
yeah, and now it's like too late, we can't leave, like we have to fix her first, she's like broken sort of essentially, like she's gone, like it's like a new person in her, like acting real weird and stuff.
Yeah,
And so,
right. So Brad steps up.
Yeah, and Lindsay Lohan, I feel like, is the main good person, but
Right.
Brad arcs. Brad comes back and saves Casey
Brad
because
comes
Casey
back
would have just
around.
been, ruined. Like she was just gone.
I like it.
Yeah.
I feel like that resolves Brad's
yeah.
Brad's story really nicely.
Yeah,
And
you
then,
need
like,
to make it a bit more
then
in
he's
depth than
like-
Brad, not Bread.
Bread.
yeah,
What? You say bread?
his name's Bread.
I really,
Damn it, bread.
I really like that you didn't end in death equals redemption because that's been done to death.
Yeah.
God damn it, I hate myself.
It's been done to redemption.
I need that so bad.
I like it. And he's kind of like, by being like, look, I don't believe in ghosts, you're being crazy, he's kind of like gaslighting her as well.
What's that mean?
Gaslighting. It's like making people like
Doubt
not
their
really
own
trust,
sanity.
like not trust their own version of events.
I've already explained gaslighting to you, Alex. Why do you do this?
yeah,
Was
we had
I
this-
drunk?
We had this whole conversation about gaslighting earlier today.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't believe you've forgotten. Do you even listen to us?
I don't want to talk about it.
Alright.
That was done in jest. We were not deliberately trying
No,
to gaslight.
gaslighting is very evil, but if you're playing along at home, Alex, immune to gaslighting.
No, I 100% believed you for like until you winked at me.
Either immune or super vulnerable.
Yeah,
One of the
super
two.
vulnerable.
Definitely was not the normal response.
I believed you immediately. I was like, all right.
Okay, so we're bringing it home with a Brad redemption. Like
Yeah.
he saves
Yeah.
the day, and then he's a bit more like
I think
in tune with things.
yeah, I think like we don't like talk about whether or not they leave the house or not. Like that's not important. But like he is able to bring Casey back, and then they smooch.
Good. I like it.
Seal it with a kiss. Sign, ship, seal it, deliver it, print it. Nice.
All right.
Alrighty.
I felt like that was a long one. I got a bit more in depth in that one.
Yeah, well, it worked
More
for
because
you.
I just didn't know where the fuck I was going, so I'm like, I'll just ramble till I get there.
But how
right, you
does
talked to-
rambling work for you? It always gets me in trouble.
Pick a card, any card.
Damien is selecting a genre from the fan of genres.
I'm so ready. Oh my god.
Damien, are you a fan of this
Is
genre?
it porn?
Okay. Sorry guys, I got the easy one. I got House is Haunted, but I don't believe in ghosts. Horror.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
I'm just gonna. All right.
Boo. Boo,
Do you want
Damien.
another one?
No. I'll play it through. I'll play
see
it
it
through.
All right.
see it
So,
through.
all right. So this is
Be
this
your
is a
little
low
basic
ball.
white girl.
Yeah. This is my. Here comes the vanilla ice cream again. Oh, was that it? Did you just spit take again? That's another near
I was
miss.
so close.
I'm trying to kill that man.
Yeah. Basic white girl and Jesus. That's his weaknesses. Or is it birthdays? Who knows?
Okay. So here's what I'm thinking.
I'm listening.
We're in Argentina.
Okay, I'm with you so far.
I'm not.
We're in-
Where's that? Is that in America?
It's in South America. It's a country in South America.
Is it cold? Is it snowy?
It's
No,
actually-
that's Antarctica, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Argentina's on the
There'll be a
equator.
there'll be a link to Argentina in the show notes. It's actually it runs the gamut. It's a long, thin country that goes from like near the equator,
Like
through-
Madagascar.
No,
That's long and thin.
no, it's an.
but it's like a pen. It's that long and thin.
That's a very
It's
small country.
extremely-
How does anyone live in there?
Well, they're just like little bits of ink, so they're just real cozy.
the metaphor scales. Luckily.
Okay, so wait, you can look up Argentina on your own time, lady. Right? Like
It's fine.
this
I'm
is not part of
fine.
my
The
pitch.
question before the podcast is not whether Argentina exists.
Right,
or
there
not.
might be there'll be like a location tag, Bariloche, Argentina, and then a small explanation about where Argentina
Conspiracy
is.
theory. Argentina's.
Like, if you want me to zoom, like, be like, this is the world, and then we're zooming in to the country.
Yeah,
like, I
no,
can
you have to have an establishing shot with the lower third. Buenos noches, Argentina, 2018.
What a good evening, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Well, you got Spanish.
Okay, fine. So I just want to, imagine. So it's like a Brazil-y. It's hot. It's tropical.
Okay, so you know what Brazil is?
No,
It's
but I know of Brazil.
okay, so we're in Brazil.
wait. I can save this. Alex, just let me. Damien, I'm going to fix this for you.
So we're in Argentina,
Fine.
well-known South American long thin country.
I've heard of it.
The shape of a pen. We're about halfway down in a
Does
town
it have a
called-
lid on?
You don't have a lid on, Alex.
Around.
So we're
You doing great, sweetie?
So we're in a town called Bariloche,
Yep.
and it is the 1970s.
Ooh, strong choice.
Okay. So what's going on is there's a house which was kind of an old kind of facility type thing, and it was not really clear whose owners were, but it's also got kind of new people moving into it. So it kind of keys into that, it's their first day, whatever. And the people there start having kind of like strange.
Oh, hold up. Who are these people? Give me a picture.
Okay, sorry. They are.
Just say Hollywood, Chris. Just say to her.
No, it's
I want
a.
Chris Pratt or no one, not the other Chris's.
It's
Is it a family? Is it a couple? Is it just a dog and his cat?
It's actually just a single retired ex-detective.
Ooh,
all right.
male or
What's that,
female?
So he used to work in
He,
Buenos
okay.
Aires. He used to work in Buenos Aires.
Is that also
And
in
he would-
Argentina?
Yes, it
Or
is.
does he move countries?
No, that's the capital of Argentina.
Okay, cool.
So he used to work in the capital, and then he's retired, and he's just bought this house, and you get this. He's putting up pictures of a family which is present, and he's kind of like lovingly staring at the photo of the wife, and you get the scent, like there's like letters he's sending to his son, but they're not being answered.
Oh.
So he's kind of a disconnected old man. Wife's gone. Family doesn't speak to him. He's just by himself. So he's bought a house.
So wife's
He's
like
moved in.
dead, gone, or you don't know?
Wife's dead, gone.
Okay.
She's gone. So he moves in. He tries to settle down. He's like, he goes to the shops and does some day-to-day tasks. The camera's just kind of like following him and kind of like showing off the town. And then you start to notice like
Like a
there's
vlog?
He's not. No, the camera's like low and kind of like stalking him.
Oh,
like
like
the point of
butt
view
level.
of like a kind of a dog level.
Like what
It's
they do on the news,
like
like when they
following
show
his-
the fat people, but just like butts down.
Yeah. It's just like tracing his steps and he's walking along. And he starts to have kind of some bad dreams. And he's waking up and he's like kind of hearing like a faint like kind of noise in the house. And it all starts to get a bit spooky, right? So it's all pretty like kind of in trope so far. And he's thinking about maybe there's something a bit wrong with the house. And he starts being like, hey, I think there's something wrong with like my piping or like the wind blowing or like there's like the sewer is kind of like sending up like kind of air and it's making a noise. And they're like, oh, that place. Yeah, that place is like, that place is trouble. Like, some old kind of German like family moved here after the war. Like, but, and then they mostly kept to themselves and, but then their relatives kept visiting them and like, but they were like, who knows what was going on with them. It was just like, there were always comings and goings and they were real private but we didn't like to ask questions and eventually they just kind of like all of a sudden moved away. No one really knew what happened and the place foreclosed and then we sold it to you. So who knows what's going on. So the spook level starts to ramp up and he started having kind of like almost kind of like these really bad nightmares where he's getting like visions of someone like kind of in a white room and he's like kind of screaming and then he like wakes up suddenly and he's noticing some kind of like various like things going wrong. And so he starts like investigating this house more. He's like, man, there must be some explanation. I think this my place might be haunted, but I don't believe in ghosts. What's going on here? So he goes down to the local library and he looks it up and he gets some details for the German family. He starts tracking them down because he was a detective. So he calls in some favors
Yep.
and he tries to work out like who these people were. And it turns out that there is an address that he can track down and try and work out what's going on. So he goes there and it's like similar setup, like a house, really isolated by itself. And he's like, was there a murder? Was some restless spirits? And he goes there and it's all closed up and no one's returning his phone calls. So he decides he's gonna go investigate. He's gonna go look at this new place.
He's back, baby, retirement 101.
Yeah. So he's got his old revolver and he's got his trench coat and it's kind of like
It's got
loose in
candy
his
skulls
pocket.
on it.
Sugar
Skulls or whatever.
It's got
they
sugar
call
skulls on
yeah.
it. And it's it's the 70s, so he's kind of driving like a beat up old like vintage
Mustang.
kind of car. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he rocks up and he gets turned away at the door and then he returns the night and he breaks in. But what he finds there is like, wait a minute, this is no family. This is some kind of ongoing experiment. And it turns out that this so-called family with their visitors was actually like a secret Nazi psychic project that fled Germany after the war and has been moving around Argentina training this army of psychic clones. And that's
The
why
boys from Brazil.
and that's why
Argentina.
and that's why his house has been kind of like having these effects. It's not because it's haunted, but because the like children that were brought up in that house are still kind of like psychically connected to it.
Yeah.
And they're like visiting it in their sleep because they were traumatized
Twist.
by it.
Yeah.
The
So
psychic
it
resonance
isn't
of clones
actually
of Adolf
haunted.
Hitler.
So it's not actually haunted at all. It wasn't ghosts. It's these real life people. And they've been calling out to him to rescue them.
Stop it.
So he goes deeper into the house and finds them and sets them free. And they're not good at socializing. And he takes them and they're like, oh no, here comes the old German scientist. And like the revolver comes out, but the old guy has a Luger and like there are gunshots. And then the house, early morning, camera fades down. There's police lights, an ambulance, our detective, swaddled in a blanket, gunshot wound, not too bad, to the shoulder, drinking a cup of coca, explaining to the police.
How many marshmallows?
While the medical workers are kind of bringing out the young lads and telling
Yeah.
them it's
Giving
okay.
them blankets and hot drinks.
And you think everything's going to be just fine, and he solved it, and
Yep.
the mystery of the haunting was just this kind of like this holdover program, and then what the kind of like final piece is the policeman like sifting through the letters and the mail and documents, and it's like, wait a minute, this is listed as facility number 7. How many other places like this are there? And then it kind of like pans out house, pans out suburb, pans out Argentina, pans out world. Shit. End.
Whoa. That was wicked.
That was great.
Once again, you win.
Yes. Not that there are winners and losers.
But there are better and worse. And
But look, I had the run of the joint.
Yeah. You can just do
Haunted
whatever
house
you
horror.
wanted.
I could basically just like do what I want.
I actually feel like that's horror, and that is actually a little bit hard just because it is so easy. You could fail so hard. But like,
Yeah, you have
obvious.
to think of it all yourself. Like, there was no
You
help.
brought it home. Like, I'll admit, it's not that I was skeptical, but when you said Argentina, I'm like, okay. 70s. I'm like, ooh, 70s. That's a good time period for this. Detective, I was in. You got me.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, you got me.
Yeah, I thought I'd go the bait and switch. Like, it's spooky, but not the spooky you think it is.
Yeah. All right, roll credits. We're done here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Harley. My co-hosts are...
Alex.
And
Damien.
you can find all the links to all the places that I'm not going to mention at waterfallstories.com. If we're on Spotify by now, it'll be up there. Just go to the website.
It definitely will be on
waterfallstories.com.
Spotify.
We better flop and be on Spotify.
It's got the socials. It's got the subscribe links. You name it, it's there. There's also a contact form if you want to send us a message. Say whose pitch you liked.
Alex's.
That's one of the two options, yes.
Yeah, or Damien.
Yeah.
Or do you want to give a sympathy shout out to Harley?
You can listen to me be
Brutal.
good at podcasting on my other podcast, Alex Gabbett's Case Notes. All the links are on the website. Just go to the website. That's why I built it. All the links are there to this, more fun stuff.
And a map of where Argentina is.
Yes, please.
Damien pretty succinctly described it.
I wasn't
Do you
listening.
not know where South America
I'm
is?
tuning it out.
Under America, I suppose.
Yeah, South of America. Hard to miss.
I
Something
like
amazing,
under, but they're not
guess.
stacked one on top of the other. It's like you don't drill
It's like
down.
it's like
and
a cake.
Yeah.
Really
Peel
dark
up
down
America and there's South America. Just
Yes.
So you get all the
the
Texans
light.
to squish out of the way, like move.
Yeah.
Move your
We've
cows.
got to get to Argentina.
Peel
It's
it
not
up.
like a layer cake.
And there's just like a part, you just hear the music as you're digging. Like Sorry, you're talking about Spotify and how good we are and how much we're getting.
You were outroing us.
Yeah. I think we should just, have an after credit scene like all the Marvel movies do, where we just do this for an hour. Just really commit.
Yeah, get that sexy land chat on. If we talk about it eventually, like someone will be like, okay, like what were you talking about? Like they'll be less than impressed.
It's so much Sexyland content.
Yeah.
Surprise
Not
Synopses,
sponsored.
surprise Sexyland content.
This was not sponsored content.
Yeah. None of this was
Although
sponsored.
if you represent Sexyland, do reach out to us.
Use the website, waterfallstories.com. All the links are there. You can contact us for whatever reason. All right. I've been Harley. She's been Alex. He's been Damien. Or have we? Dun, 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 dun.
We have.
Yep.
Basically.
All right, we're done.
Yay!
Yay.
Hello, Harley again. Two things. Firstly, I was really very wrong. Argentina is not near the equator. I looked at a map, and oh boy, geography is not my strong suit. If you noticed a series of 3 claps, that's something I do to help mark in and out points for when I'm editing the show. I discussed it briefly with my co-host before the show, and it kind of turned into a running joke. We recorded the first 3 episodes together in one night, so things got a little loose. Here's the best of the 3 claps bits that I cut out from before the podcast and during.
What's that? Why do you clap?
Okay, I should have explained that.
You're marking the tape, right? By doing
Yes.
that?
So
Yeah.
when you
When you
clap,
hear the clappy
it makes a
claps.
very short, sharp spike in the audio.
Yeah.
And if I do it 3 times, it's really easy for me to spot it, even if I scrub through a lot of audio. Because we record for like almost 2 hours now.
Yeah. Okay.
So when I do this, it's really easy to spot.
Well, it's going to be hard now because you've done it twice and you're probably going to do it a third time before we start.
Yeah, but as soon as I start editing, I'll remember that I've done this and know to skip the first two.
I'm like halfway through it, I'm going to be like, I can't do it with the hat.
It is polluting the file.
Well, you two laugh now, but you are laughing now. That's an extended bit.
Oh no! Normally really
That's
good
on-
at holding those back.
That's on tape now.
Shit.
All right, that's after the fourth set of claps.
Well, let's go deep.
The Alex snort.
Anyway. In a world.
Okay, last one.
I can't breathe.
Alex, can you just into the microphone and say surprise synopses for me?
Surprise synopses.
There we go. Uh-huh.
I'm not even sure if I say it right. Surprise synopses.
Thank you.
It's my favourite bit now. I'm the clapper now.
So when we go to pies and see each other, we're not going to go, oh, hey, how's it going? I really like that episode. We're just going to walk past and go,
Go for it, sister.
any fans
It's funny because
listening-
each one represents more work for Harley.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, where does it start?
All right, someone clap me in.